Tonight, breaking news involving Donald Trump, this new revised indictment against the former president, what this move from Jack Smith now means. Also tonight, we're tracking this dangerous heat for millions, severe storms now from the Midwest into the Northeast on the way, and the deadly accident at the Atlanta airport, what we've learned. First tonight, this new revised indictment against Donald Trump in the election interference case, how it's different from the original one, and could it affect the election? Also, we're tracking the dangerous heat from the Midwest moving into the east, record set in Chicago. The feel-like reading 115 degrees. The nation's largest power grid operator with a new warning tonight. And this heat now fueling severe storms, large hail, damaging winds moving into the Northeast. Ginger Z has the forecast. The deadly airport horror, 2 workers killed, a third seriously injured inside a hangar. The deadly wheel rupture. In the Northeast, the mosquito concern now turning deadly. A mosquito-borne virus killing 1 person in New Hampshire. The Massachusetts town taking action. The spraying in New York City. Authorities in several states watching this closely. The Israel-Hamas war tonight and the dramatic rescue. A hostage held by Hamas found alive in a tunnel 326 days after being taken hostage. The war in Ukraine tonight, the newest Russian aerial assault targeting hotels and power plants. Half of Kyiv in the dark tonight. The urgent search now for survivors. Back here in the U.S., the fiery school bus crash. Dozens of children inside. The other driver in a Kia slamming head-on into the school bus. The once legendary lawyer who partnered with Erin Brockovich tonight convicted of embezzling millions from his own clients. Your health tonight and the popular weight loss drug now being sold direct to patients at half the retail price. The reported $100 million deal for the Kelce brothers tonight, what they now plan to do. And America Strong will take you out on the ocean, the Jersey Shore, the parents riding the waves, showing countless children anything is possible.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here at a very busy Tuesday night. We're tracking dangerous heat and storms moving into the Northeast. Also, this deadly accident at the Atlanta airport. But we begin tonight with the breaking news involving former President Trump and the federal election interference case. In what's called a superseding indictment, Jack Smith bringing a new recalibrated indictment with the same charges against Trump, but with revised evidence to reflect the recent Supreme Court ruling that offered sweeping presidential immunity involving official acts. So this new indictment from Jack Smith now separates out what Trump allegedly did in his role as a candidate from what he did in his role as president. Of course, the election just 70 days away, so what does this all mean? ABC's Chief Justice correspondent Pierre Thomas leading us off tonight.
Tonight, Special Counsel Jack Smith filing a new indictment against former President Donald Trump for its efforts to overturn the 2020 election, a direct response to the recent Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity. That ruling granting presidents sweeping immunity for virtually all official acts of the executive branch. So Smith went back to the drawing board, now prosecuting Trump for what he allegedly did in his role as a candidate, not as president of the United States. The new indictment charges Trump with the same 4 crimes, including conspiracy to defraud the United States, to obstruct the certification of the electoral votes on January 6th, and conspiracy against the right to vote and to have one's vote counted. But there are some changes in the wake of that Supreme Court ruling, which determined a president is entitled, at a minimum, to a presumptive immunity from prosecution for all of his official acts. The new indictment removes any mention of Trump's alleged behavior that prosecutors believe could be considered official acts. For example, it no longer describes Trump's alleged effort to enlist Justice Department officials to subvert the election, and it no longer details how multiple federal officials, including the Director of National Intelligence, told Trump his claims of election fraud were false. What Smith has done instead is focus on Trump as the leader of his campaign, highlighting he was not acting in his official role as president, but in his capacity as a candidate for office. In one instance, noting the defendant had no official responsibilities related to the certification proceeding, but he did have a personal interest as a candidate in being named the winner of the election. The special counsel knew the clock was ticking. DOJ policy discourages prosecutors from filing federal charges against candidates within 60 days of an election, but we're not yet within that 60-day window.
All right, so let's bring in Pierre Thomas with us live in Washington on this breaking development late today. Pierre, bottom line here, in the wake of that Supreme Court ruling that had offered sweeping presidential immunity, a special counsel Jack Smith, it would seem, has essentially gone back to the case here and has reworked his indictment, zeroing in on Trump's actions, his alleged actions as a candidate, not his actions as president, which, of course, now protected by the Supreme Court's ruling. And what will we see next, of course, with 70 days now until the election?
David, the special counsel is trying to be surgical, even removing from his indictment statements Trump made from the White House podium about the election being stolen. We expect Trump's legal team to respond in court in the coming days, but it's unlikely we will see Trump in court before the election. For his part, Trump called today's indictment ridiculous and an act of desperation. He said the case should be thrown out. David.
Pierre Thomas leading us off in Washington tonight. Pierre, thank you. The other developing headline, this dangerous heat from the Midwest now moving into the east. Severe storms moving into the Northeast, too. And tonight, record set in Chicago. In fact, the feel-like reading there, 115 degrees. Tonight, more than 80 million Americans are on alert. The heat index tomorrow, the feel-like reading with the humidity combined in the triple digits from the south all the way up to the Northeast. New York City will feel close to 100 tomorrow. And, of course, the storms, large hail and damaging winds, all possible. So Ginger Z has the forecast, and Alex Perez in Chicago tonight.
Tonight, more than 80 million Americans sweltering in the heartland as a life-threatening late summer heat wave spreads east, breaking records. Chicago under an excessive heat warning for the second day in a row, where it felt like 115 degrees this afternoon.
Really hard to kind of just like breathe and grasp air. It was almost like this humid mixed with the warmth. Not something we're used to in Chicago.
Chicago Public Schools officials canceling all outdoor activities.
I consider the highest risk demographic the adolescents who are exercising outdoors, who are pushing themselves.
For many students this week, the school day ending early because of hot classrooms.
I think the coolest temperature that I took was 78 degrees, and that was at 7:30 this morning.
The nation's largest power grid operator, PJM Interconnection, issuing an alert to providers in 13 states plus Washington, D.C., warning of conditions that may require all generators to operate at their maximum output capability. And the extreme heat is fueling extreme storms. Overnight, sirens sounding outside the Minnesota Twins game. Damaging winds, torrential rain, and hail knocking out power to more than 150,000 homes and businesses in the Twin Cities metro area and western Wisconsin.
And David, that same system leading to a severe thunderstorm watch here in Chicago right now. The heat and the rain both now heading east. David?
Yeah, those storms look ferocious. Alex, thank you. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z with the forecast, of course, tracking the potential for these storms as well. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, David. In just the last couple of hours, southeast Michigan and parts of the lower peninsula, more than 300,000 customers without power. We've seen wind gusts as high as 73 miles per hour with the storms there. So severe storms also around Chicago. They're in a watch now until 11 p.m. And you see that one headed toward Waukegan. So the north side getting that first cell, but watch until later tonight and after the sun goes down. Also wanted to note that this front keeps moving east tomorrow. So it'll pump up in western Ohio in the afternoon and then go throughout the night. Pittsburgh all the way to Philadelphia into the early morning hours. So it's Wednesday night into early Thursday. And of course, that's the front that's going to break up some of this heat. Washington, D.C. could easily see a record. 101 is the forecast and their old record 99. But the heat indices will make it feel even hotter. And so, David, we'll see those numbers keep breaking until we get to the end of the week. And then we'll cool right down and quite a bit here, back into the 70s.
We'll take it. Just got to get through the next couple of days. Ginger, we'll see you tomorrow on GMA. Thank you. We turn to the other news tonight, to Atlanta now, and the deadly airport horror. 2 workers killed, a third seriously injured inside a hangar when Delta Airlines says a wheel ruptured there. ABC's Faith Abubey tonight at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta.
Tonight, tragedy at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport after 2 Delta Airlines workers were killed and another seriously injured in an accident inside a maintenance hangar.
Response to 1775, Main 8 Jackson Jr. Boulevard, Delta TOC-3, reference to an explosion.
Delta says the employees were working on a tire early this morning, away from any aircraft, when a wheel component ruptured. Emergency crews racing to the scene. An incident report quoting a Delta employee telling first responders, quote, "I walked towards where the explosion occurred and saw a body lying face down, not moving, with blood all around."
At 200 pounds per square inch, if something fails on a tire this big, it will sound like an explosion, and it can cause lots of damage to anything nearby.
Tonight, the medical examiner identifying the deceased as 58-year-old Mirko Marwig and 37-year-old Luis Alderando. In a statement, Delta saying it is heartbroken at the loss of 2 team members and the injury of another.
And David, tonight that third employee is receiving medical treatment for serious injuries. Delta says it's conducting a full investigation into exactly what happened. The FAA is aware. In the meantime, airport officials here telling us no flights were impacted by this deadly incident. David.
All right, Faith Abubey in Atlanta. Thank you, Faith. In the Northeast tonight, the mosquito concern has now turned deadly. A mosquito-borne virus killing 1 person in New Hampshire, a Massachusetts town taking action, closing parks and fields after dusk, and the spraying in and around New York City. Authorities in several states are now watching this closely. ABC's Ariel Reshef on this again tonight.
Tonight, planes and trucks in Massachusetts are loaded with pesticides as health officials try to protect communities at high risk for the EEE virus, a rare but potentially deadly mosquito-borne illness. The targeted spraying comes just hours after neighboring New Hampshire reported what is likely the country's first death this year from the virus.
While the risk is very low, the cases can be really severe, and this is why we want to reduce our contacts with mosquitoes.
Health officials say the adult patient was hospitalized with severe central nervous system disease, testing positive for Eastern equine encephalitis virus. It's New Hampshire's first death in 10 years. While most infected people don't have symptoms, some cases can be severe. About 30% of those who get brain inflammation die.
The severe cases are what we're most concerned about, of encephalitis and disorientation and potentially death. And that's why, of course, we are especially concerned about any cases of EEE.
Plymouth, Massachusetts, which is at high risk for EEE, is taking extra precautions.
Plymouth has decided to close their fields and parks from dusk to dawn, again, because that is the most prevalent time for mosquito activity.
Overnight, New York City spraying to reduce the risk of another mosquito-borne disease, West Nile virus.
And David, officials say the best way to protect yourself, use bug spray. Make sure to wear long sleeves and pants if you are outside at dusk and dawn, and avoid any standing water. David?
Ariel Reshef with us again tonight. Thank you. Now to the Israel-Hamas war, and tonight the dramatic rescue. A hostage held by Hamas found alive in a tunnel 326 days now after being taken hostage. 108 hostages, including 8 Americans, are still believed to be held by Hamas, and many are feared to be dead. Britt Clennett from Tel Aviv again tonight.
Nearly a year after he was violently taken hostage by Hamas, tonight 52-year-old Qaid Farhan al-Qadi found alive in a tunnel after an IDF military operation where soldiers maneuvered through the possible presence of hostages, Hamas fighters and explosives under southern Gaza. Al-Qadi emotional, smiling and shaking hands with Israeli soldiers, giving a thumbs up as he boarded a helicopter and was brought back to Israel 326 days after Hamas kidnapped him from Magen Kibbutz on October 7th. Farhan alone when he was discovered by Israeli forces. Al-Qadi told Israeli President Isaac Herzog he couldn't believe it when he heard Hebrew on the other side of the door.
He is alive. He is back home in Israel.
His family sprinting through the hospital and outside as he arrived for treatment. Officials say the father of 11 is in good medical condition. 108 hostages, including 8 Americans, are still believed to be held by Hamas. Many are feared to be dead. Hostage families relieved but calling for a ceasefire deal.
I'm glad that he came back, but I'm really worried about the rest. There is just one way to bring them back home, just with the deal. There is no other way.
Tonight, David, fundamental gaps remain on a ceasefire framework. US officials can't even say whether Hamas leader Sinwar is being briefed on the latest developments. David?
Britt Clennett in Tel Aviv for us. Thank you, Britt. Now to the war in Ukraine tonight. Ukraine now rocked by a second wave of Russian aerial attacks. More than 320 missiles and drones striking civilian infrastructure targets across the country, killing at least 13 people and injuring dozens more over the past 48 hours. Kyiv in the dark tonight. President Zelensky saying U.S.-made F-16 fighter jets were able to destroy some of the missiles and drones. Zelensky also saying he now has a peace plan to present to President Biden for the UN meeting in September, and that this recent Ukrainian incursion inside Russia is part of that plan. Meantime, back here in the U.S. tonight, and the once legendary lawyer Tom Girardi, who partnered with Erin Brockovich, has now been convicted tonight of embezzling millions from his own clients. Here's our chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman.
Tonight, once legendary lawyer Tom Girardi, famous for winning that record settlement in the Erin Brockovich case, now found guilty of embezzling more than $15 million from clients, settlement money stolen from the victims he represented.
He was a perpetrator of injustice, victimizing his own clients when they were most vulnerable and most in need.
The 85-year-old convicted on 4 counts of wire fraud, prosecutors stating that instead of paying clients, the lawyer used that settlement money to fund his lavish lifestyle, from private jets and country clubs.
Welcome to my home. Come on in.
To the career of his now estranged wife and Real Housewife of Beverly Hills star, Erica Girardi.
I'm an enigma wrapped in a riddle and cash.
During the trial, Girardi's public defenders placing the blame on his law firm's CFO, arguing that Girardi was experiencing mental decline and dementia, but last year a judge finding him fit to stand trial. Tonight, many of Girardi's victims relieved.
It's not really a happy moment. How could it be happy to know that for 40 years this man walked on people in their worst day, in their worst moment, and he's flying on a jet and going from country club to country club with people's money? It's not a happy day, but it's the first step in making it right.
David Girardi is currently in an assisted living facility. His sentencing is in December. But, David, that is not the end of his legal woes. He faces another trial in Chicago next year for allegedly stealing from the victims' families from the 2018 Lion Air crash in Indonesia. David.
A lot of eyes on this case in California. Matt, thank you. When we come back, the head-on collision with a school bus, the bus then erupting into flames. Also tonight, one of those popular weight loss drugs now being sold direct to patients at half the price. In a moment. Tonight, authorities in Northern California are investigating the head-on collision of a car into a school bus carrying dozens of children. The bus then bursting into flames. Remarkably, only the driver of the car, a Kia, and a 13-year-old on the bus were both taken to the hospital with minor injuries. Everyone else is okay. Santa Cruz officials tonight saying they are examining why the car was traveling in the wrong direction. When we come back, your health tonight and the popular weight loss drug now being sold direct to patients at half the retail price. And the reported $100 million deal for the Kelce brothers tonight, what they now plan to do. To the index, and tonight, the drug maker Eli Lilly is making its popular weight loss drug, Zepbound, more affordable for anyone whose insurance won't cover it. Zepbound will now be sold on the Eli Lilly website with a prescription. The cost is about half of the retail price. Travis and Jason Kelce reportedly reaching a deal worth more than $100 million for their podcast New Heights, reportedly signing with Amazon's Wondery. Their podcast often ranks at the top on Apple and Spotify already. When we come back here tonight, America Strong, we take you to the Jersey Shore tonight, riding the waves with the most joyful, most appreciative surfers you'll ever meet. Finally tonight here, America Strong, the parents riding the waves with the most deserving young surfers you'll ever meet. Tonight, in the final weeks of summer, a loving mother and father on a mission for so many children. To teach these smiling faces how to surf, to show them anything is possible, all to honor their late son. Yeah! The children on surfboards with professional surfers, instructors right by their side. The surfers all have autism or developmental disabilities. And since 2014, a decade now, the nonprofit Heart of Surfing has been teaching thousands of children how to surf, all for free and all along the Jersey Shore.
Just having a great time. Love the smile.
Ben, Jacob, Maddie getting her balance, and Chloe, who has been surfing now for years.
You got it, Chloe!
You can go the small waves, big waves, and also you can meet new friends too. Give me a high five. Yeah! And have a good time. Catch some cool waves.
The idea from Cindy and Bob Furch to honor the legacy of their own son, Jamie, who had autism. He died of a sudden seizure 4 years ago. He loved the waves, he loved to surf, and they're now spreading the love with what they call the Heart of Surfing. 123 surfers on this day and countless smiles. And right here tonight,
hi, David.
Those proud parents, Cindy and Bob.
Thank you so much for telling our story on America Strong. We've learned from our son, Jamie, that even in the most difficult circumstances, there's good to be found.
And tonight here, a message from that surfer, Chloe.
I can say we're not going to do anything. Follow your dreams, baby.
Follow your dreams, baby. Thank you, Chloe, and thank you, Cindy and Bob. I'm sure your son is smiling. I'm David Muir. I hope to see you right back here tomorrow. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.